Welcome to our 2022 setup tour. This has been a long overdue video. I know, loads of people on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter have been asking, for the love of God, where is the setup tour? The last time we did a tour was last year, actually, when we did the 4-part series building the office from start to finish. So a lot has changed since then. We've taken a lot of things out. We've added a lot of things in. So today's video, we're going to do a walkthrough of the office, going over all the different stations that we have in the setup so that you guys can get a better understanding of what it's actually like. And we're also going to reference some of the stuff from the 4-part series for the new people that might not have seen those videos, kind of to show how we built the office and what it is today. So if you see anything you like in the video, you can check the links down in the description. Without further ado, let's get into the tour. But before that, I wanted to take a minute to tell you about this new Skytech gaming PC with the all-new Intel Arc graphics that Intel sent over for us to try out. If you're someone who's thinking of getting into PC gaming, but you don't fancy building your own, this pre-built system from Skytech featuring the latest 13th gen Intel processor, along with Intel's new Arc A770 GPU, is ready to go straight out of the box, so you can just start gaming. Speaking of the GPU, here's what it looks like. It's actually quite refreshing to have another option on the market now. I also like how clean it looks. It's definitely got quite a minimalistic aesthetic, but for you RGB lovers, you'll be pleased to know it also has RGB lighting, so you can customize the colors to match the rest of your PC. Now, one thing that's cool about having an all Intel system is the Intel Deep Link, which is a feature enabled on select processors to basically let the CPU and GPU work together simultaneously to deliver highly optimized performance, especially when it comes to intensive tasks like streaming and content creation. Now, when it comes to gaming, the A770 is well equipped to handle all your favorite titles. We're currently playing at 1440p resolution, ultra settings, and as you can see, we're getting frame rates well over 60 FPS in many of the latest games. And you can boost frame rates even further using Intel's Xe super sampling technology. Simply enable it on supported titles and enjoy higher FPS. Hitman 3, for example, we've even got ray tracing enabled and still getting over 60 FPS. Fans of older titles will also be pleased to know that Intel just released driver updates that significantly improve performance in older DX9 games like CSGO. So whatever you're playing, you can expect a great performance all around. To find out more about Intel Arc and this ready-to-go Skytech gaming PC, click the link in the description down below. So right in the entrance of the office, you will first see our camera equipment area. So this is where we store all of our camera lenses, our cameras, our lights, and all of our equipment that we use for YouTube videos. Now, we really like our Panasonic cameras. We actually sold all of our Sony cameras because we prefer the skin tones on the Panasonic. They just look awesome. Down here at the bottom, we have like all of our to-go gear that we use when we go on trips. So this is our new drone that we just got. We have our camera monitors and then the stands that we use when we're like out in public to have better footage. And then we also have our 100,000 subscriber plaque, which we love. Thank you to everyone that helped make that possible. And then inside of this unit right here, this is where we keep all of our batteries for all of our gear. So we've mounted and screwed everything down to the bottom so that it like doesn't move and it stays in the place. So you can just plop everything in there and pull it out whenever you need it. And then we also have like a Velcro strap right here so that whenever it's done charging, you can put it in and just grab everything off of it. And then up here on the top, this is just like random camera gear that we use sometimes, but we like to keep on hand as well. Now, these units you see right here, these are the Vesta cabinets from IKEA, and they're really great for storage. That's why we use a lot of them in our office. Now, moving on to this area right here. So originally, this was like the TV entertainment center. I didn't really plan for anything else to use it for other than that. But since we started using the studio in this room as well, this is where we shoot all of our YouTube videos. We now hook up our cameras to this TV so that we can see ourselves blown up. Over here, we have our Cyberpunk figure that our friend Locust sent us. This is super cool because it was one of the first ever to come out, I believe, for their collector's edition, and he had extra ones, so he sent us one for Josh's birthday. Thank you, Locust, love you. And then these panels right here, we get questions a lot about. So these are from Amazon and they are 3D wall panels that you can pick up. I like them because they give us that futuristic vibe that we're going for in our office. And then the tops of these cabinets, I've actually used some concrete wallpaper to give it more of an industrial look to the top of it to kind of match that spacey kind of vibe we were going for. Now, moving on to here, we have our Meta Quest 2 VR headset. We don't use this as much as we used to. There's not a lot of games games that have come out recently for it. We've already played a lot of the games, so until they start making a lot of new games, we haven't really used it much. Above that, we have this cool picture frame from a company on Instagram that sent me this. They kind of replace a lot of old gadgets and then make them into this really cool art, and it looks pretty nice. Moving on to this area, this is my dedicated shelf, and this is where I keep a lot of my knickknacks. So let's start from the bottom. So this interesting cube that you see here, this is a Tesseract cube, a 4-dimensional cube, in fact, and we did a review video on them because we have a few of them in our house. So we have one here, and then we have one over in Josh's setup, and they're really cool because they can be paired together to do like the same sync over music, and they just create a really cool ambient, and I feel like it fits us because our name is Tesseract on our YouTube channel, so that's cool to have. We also have a discount code for 10% off. If you want to pick these up, you can use that. The code's Tesseract. Up on the next shelf, we have my collection of a few of the keyboards that I have in this room, and then above that, just more of my keycap collection and just stuff that I use on my keyboards all the time. And then just on the top, we've got my Minecraft books and my custom Minecraft character. That's actually what I look like in the game. And then just some Apple boxes to be displayed on. Now, moving over to the main setup. Let's first talk about how we actually built the setup, and then I'll go through and talk about everything in our office. So, starting with the desks. We get a lot of questions about these desks and where they can be picked up at. Well, the top of it is a custom cut wood piece from Lowe's that we had cut directly to fit the measurements of the room. And then we used that same wallpaper to put on top, and then I finished the edges off with this vinyl that you can also pick up at Lowe's. Now, above this desk, we have our custom shelving unit. So we actually hired a carpenter to come out to our office and build out these cabinets on, well, not cabinets, shelves on the wall. And after he was done building the shelves, I added these IKEA shelves on the front of them, honestly by accident, and they just turned out great. They finished the shelves, they made it look more modern in the way that I wanted them, so we decided to keep them. And then we just continued those custom panels that we got off of Amazon and cut them and put them in between it to keep that futuristic, I guess, flow going. And moving on to our projector screen. So if you saw our previous video in the 4 series, we had a really small projector screen. It probably went from here to here, and it looked really weird. So we custom built this projector screen. We got some plywood from Lowe's, and then we got some sheet from the fabric store, and we stretched it across and we made it the exact measurement of the gap that you saw up there to kind of make it more, I guess, immersive for our projector screen. And it looks really cool. So you might be wondering, why do we have such a big projector screen in our office? Well, it was one of the ways to hide the window behind this whole entire wall. Since we shoot a lot of YouTube videos in our office, we wanted to control the light in here so that it's easier to film. And that brings me to our other project that we did in here, is our custom hexagon wall panel. This is probably my favorite thing in our office. I've never seen anybody have it in their setup or their YouTube studio. It's just a really cool touch to have, and I feel like it's super unique. Now, how we made this is we took 2 pieces of wood and we mounted them to the wall, and then we used LED strips to, I guess, mount them to the back of pieces of wood that were drilled into the wall. And then we put 2 other pieces of plywood on top of it and sandwiched them together and started putting all the hexagons onto the board. And then we cut out individual hexagons and used like frosted acrylic glass that we spray painted with a frosted spray to create that frosted look, so you would get more of an RGB glow. Up here on the top, we have some nanoleaf canvas panels, and we actually had to customize them on Josh's side and my side. We had to cut pieces of drywall out of the wall to actually fit the whole size or the length of the panels to fit the dimensions of the room. We also created this custom tubing system that you see right here. So it's using LED light strip raceways, and then this is a tube from the plumbing section in Lowe's that I came up with the idea to super glue to the raceway, and then I sandwiched Gobi LED strips on the top and the bottom so that it has that lighting effect and you don't really see the individual lights of the strips. Now for lighting the entire room, we are using Govee LED strips. They basically run all the way along the shelves and inside the cabinets. Definitely the best LED strips you can buy, would highly recommend. Now that we've gone over all the custom stuff in our office, let's take a look back at my desk and go over all of the stuff in it. So right on the top, we have my wall of GPUs. Now, a lot of people think I just collect these for fun, but in reality, we do not. We use them for all of our PC builds that we do on our YouTube channel. So there is a purpose to all of these GPUs. They're not just for display. And now thanks to Intel, we have another one to add to our collection. Moving down to my actual desk setup, I'm using 3 monitors. The middle one is a 34-inch ultra-wide gaming monitor, and the 2 on the side are 2 Alienware 25-inch gaming monitors. And I really like this layout because I personally feel like for productivity, it works really good to have landscape and portrait monitors right next to each other. Right under my monitors, we have my desk riser stand from LandQ, and we put white wallpaper on the top of it just to match with the theme of our setup. And then I've just got my Amazon Echo Show and my Go XLR here for when I'm streaming and using my microphone. And then I also have my really cool McLaren car over here that I really like, so I keep that on my desk. Josh actually has a whole collection of cars on his side that you'll see later in the video. On the right side of my desk, I have this button right here. So this button actually turns my PC on and off. It's a custom button that can hook up to your motherboard, and then once you press it, it can control it. So I like having that because it's convenient, because my PC is all the way on the other side of my desk and I don't like getting up and turning it off when I need to. For my mouse, I'm using the Razer Viper Ultimate V2, and then for my keyboard, this is a mechanical keyboard from Melgeek, and it has a matching number pad that I usually display all my custom keycaps on. Right next to my keyboard, I have my Razer Tartarus V2. Now, I use this specifically for only playing games. I do not like to play video games on a keyboard. I absolutely hate it. So this to me is just more ergonomic. Josh says he doesn't like the feel of it, but for me it works great. Absolutely love it. And then I also have a loop deck right up here on the top. So we use this when you're editing videos, and there's like a lot of settings for in Premiere Pro that you can use and customize. For audio, I'm using the Spark SL from Blue. It sounds great for when I'm doing voiceovers or streaming. And then the speakers that I'm using are the Sanyung bookshelf speakers. I really like them because they match the black and white theme that I was going for my setup. Last on my desk, I have my Alienware laptop. So this is my Alienware X14 and my Alienware headset, and I use this pretty much daily. This is my daily driver when I'm out in the living room or we're traveling. It's really small, and Josh actually uses it too, so we both do, but it's a really good laptop. Absolutely love it. For my gaming chair, I am using a chair from Alienware that they sent over to me. I used to have their blue version, but I really wanted the white one to match with our futuristic theme of our office, and it's a really comfy chair. I'd highly recommend it. I get lots of questions about it, honestly, about what chair I'm always using, so that is the one that I use. And then down here we have my footrest. Now I picked this up on Amazon. It's probably the best footrest that I have ever gotten. I've used a couple in my office. We'll make sure to link that down below, but I like it because you can tilt up and down and it has like a lot of movement in it. But now that we are also down here, I kind of want to show you guys like our cable management, because people always ask about cable management. So I couldn't be asked to really do raceways for the cables. So what I did is I built this custom box in the back of our desks that hold all the cables so you cannot see them. So it's kind of like an L shape with like a piece of wood like that. So all the cables rest inside of it and they don't come out. So it just keeps everything nice and tidy. And I also did that on Josh's desk as well. One more thing that I wanted to show you guys is this custom, I know this is overkill, I don't know, but if you hate cables as much as me, we built these custom wood panels to go underneath our stands, like our risers, and we painted it white so that the light that's under here reflects off of it and you can't see like any of the cables for the monitors or anything. But yeah, if you don't like cables, that's what you could do. Moving on to my PC. This is my custom water-cooled PC that I built. You can actually find a full video on our YouTube channel of the whole process of doing it. It's actually the second water-cooled PC I've built, and this time I decided to experiment with some interesting bends, and overall I'm really happy with how they turned out. And I also made this custom display for the front of it so that I could have one of my mini displays on there and have a wallpaper or the temperatures of the CPU or the GPU. On the other side of the office, we have Josh's setup. So all the stuff is pretty much similar when it comes to the shelf and the panels, but his monitor setup and his figures and stuff on his desk are a little bit different. So he has a lot of cars that he likes to collect from Fast and the Furious. And then his setup is actually rocking 2 monitors instead of 3. He used to have 3 that were in landscape mode, but he felt like they were too big for the desk, so he dropped down to 2. So now he's only using his 34-inch Alienware ultra wide monitor for the main, and then on the side he's got a 27-inch gaming monitor from Alienware as well. For audio, he's using the baby bottle microphone from Blue, and then for his other audio he has a sound bar, the Sound Blaster Katana V2, and it's really cool because it has RGB down on the bottom, so you get a nice effect there. For Josh's chair, he's using the Secret Lab Titan. He's been using Secret Lab chairs for the past few years now, and he just really likes the overall look and feel of them. They've got some really cool features as well, like a magnetic head and armrests and built-in lumbar support down at the bottom. Moving on to the accessories on his desk, he has this loop deck here that he uses mainly for editing our videos in Premiere Pro, as well as this SD card reader from Kingston. And then he also has a custom mechanical keyboard from Melgeek as well. And he also has his Razer Death Adder V3 Pro mouse that he uses as well. And then this is Josh's custom PC. He uses this for everything really, although it gets rebuilt a lot because we always have new cases coming in, so it never stays looking the same for very long. And last on our tour is our space bar. That's what we like to call it. So this is mainly our YouTube studio, and this is usually what you guys see in our YouTube videos. So this is kind of like a set that we built out, and then we just have all of our PC parts, and this is normally where I would stand, and we would either have the camera right here or in front of me or on the side, and sometimes we even have it up on the top. You actually don't see what this room looks like when we're actually filming. There is no room over here to walk because we usually have poles and cameras set up and lights everywhere. So that is one of the reasons why when we move, that the studio will have its own separate room. So I'll give you guys a little close-up of everything that's in our studio. So this is a sit and stand desk from Flexi Spot that they sent over to us. And I added these shelves on the end of it to hold like all of our camera stuff and all of the stuff for mounting on our tripods. And originally, I had shelves that went all the way around, but I closed it off with these panels because I just felt like it looked cooler and it matched the vibe of our office. Now, walking over here to our storage, this is a tool chest that we picked up from Lowe's, and it just has all of our stuff that we use like on a daily basis, just like keeps everything nice and organized, and all of our tools when we're building PCs. Really nice thing to have. We also have this little tool thing over here that keeps all of our screws separated and organized. That, like I said, it helps with building at PCs. And then we just have some more of our components on display with like little clips that mount into the back of the board. The laptop that you see right here is our Alienware laptop. This is the M15. And then we also have this Innocent ultra wide. I guess this is like a mega ultra wide that they sent us that we did a review on. So we decided to put this in the setup. And then we just have like a BenQ light up at the top just to add some light onto our Razer keyboard and Razer mouse that we use over here as well. And then I kind of made this cute little custom design with the leftover hexagons that we had just to give it a little bit more of a creative, I guess futuristic vibe. And then this shelf right here is just some more of our PC parts that we just display for the back of our YouTube videos. And then we have another one of those cubes that I told you about. And then for the top of the studio, we have these custom shelves that we have on the office side as well. And then just more boxes of our GPUs and some hexagon panels that we got on Amazon as well. We'll make sure to link those in the description. And then we have the projector that we use right there to project onto our projector screen. But one thing I want to talk about with the studio, like I said earlier, having a studio and a gaming setup together just does not work. At first I used to think, why don't people have them together? Like, it would make perfect sense. But after being a YouTuber for over a year and a half now, I definitely see why people have a separate studio room, because there's just not room in this office when we have all of our lights and our cameras set up. So things that are going to change. Let me show you things that are going to change in our office when we move, because we're moving soon. So this area right here, we are going to extend this. It's going to come out to here, probably a little further. And the desk that you see right here is going to extend to go all the way back. That way we have more access to this tool chest, because it's kind of like cut off right here. and we can't really use that side over there. So that's one thing that we're going to change. We're also going to make this longer and extend the shelves back more here. And then we're gonna also extend this table that you see here to make it longer so that 2 people can actually sit here and do videos. So yeah, that was about it for the setup tour. If we missed anything, leave us a comment down below and we'll make sure to get back to you. But yeah, that's our little setup tour that we got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know we haven't showed the office in quite some time. I'm kind of sad that we're gonna have to be taking it down soon because it's been like a whole year that we've had it. So it's like, I don't know, it's like bittersweet. It's gonna be really weird having 2 different rooms for the studio and the game room, but it will work out better in the future. And you guys will get to see another series coming soon of us building a new gaming setup tour. Good times, good times. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will catch you in the next one.